Welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope your caregiving journey is being successful. We always want to look back on the previous day, on the previous week, and in one day on the entire journey, and know we did the very best we can do. If you have questions about your caregiving journey, then write me and let's talk about those things. I promise you I will get back with you, and I very well might use your question on an upcoming episode. My email address is carol@letstalkdementia.org. Well, today I wanted to show you my brain hat. I think you've seen this before, but this is important for our discussion today. I have a friend whose wife has advancing dementia for sure. If she's not into the late stages, she's not far from it. Very volatile and can become angry, curses a lot, throws people out of her house, can't keep caregivers. It's a very sad situation for her, and it's a very, very sad situation for her husband. I see this gentleman is becoming very tired, and really it's wearing down on him probably more quickly than it is on her. That makes me sad. But in the process, he is convinced that his wife does not have dementia. And he said to me one time, "How do you know your mama's dementia is advancing?" And I said, "Well, I can see that she's losing the ability to do things that she used to be able to do with no problem." And he said, "Like what?" And I said, "Well, Mama can no longer dial the phone." He goes, Oh, my wife can dial the phone. She doesn't have dementia." Really, I didn't know that that's how we diagnosed it or ruled it out, if you could dial the phone or not. And I thought that was a little disconcerting. So, but anything I would say to him that Mama could no longer do, and he would be sure that his wife could do it, and that meant she didn't have dementia. So I'm going to go over again what dementia is. So let's look at the brain hat. So with dementia, the brain, this is my crude replica of a slice of the brain, and this slice of the brain would be this way on your head. So this brown part would be your forehead, the side of your forehead. That probably was not the best videography I've ever done, but you get the idea. So the brown part is your temporal lobe, which is right behind your forehead here. You've got your brain stem and the various parts of your brain. If we go in a counterclockwise motion, we come to those parts of the brain that we need most, and the further we go, we come to the parts of the brain that we need least. But in the very center of the brain, on this one, we have this blue fuzzy ball. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't have a blue fuzzy ball in your brain, but wouldn't it be neat if we did? We could identify it so much easier on an x-ray. But the blue fuzzy ball in this case represents the hippocampus. Now, the hippocampus, right in the very center, is a two-lobed, seahorse-shaped part of the brain, and everything you learn in a day lands on the hippocampus, and it stays there till you go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, it leaves the hippocampus and it goes somewhere else in the brain to live forever. And what Alzheimer's does is Alzheimer's eats that hippocampus until it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and we only have a little bit of hippocampus left, and that little bit of hippocampus that's left, well, that is diseased. So the new information is landing where it should, but it can't stay there. And if it can't stay there, it can't move to somewhere else to live so that later you can retrieve that information. Well, if that wasn't enough, what happens is after Alzheimer's has had enough hippocampus for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it decides to eat some other parts of the brain, and it actually begins to eat so much of the brain that there is a moat around the hippocampus. The information wants to travel from here to some other part in the brain, but see, the bridge is out. It can't move. It will leave the hippocampus and fall into a spot in the brain where there's no way for that connection to be made and it to travel on somewhere else in the brain. Does that make sense to you? Kind of help you visually see what happens in the brain with dementia. So when you get angry because your loved one did not remember something you just told them, they tried. They really did, but their hippocampus is so damaged, it can't hold the information. If it does hold the information, it can't move it from here to somewhere else in the brain. And did you know everything you learn in a day is moved to another part in your brain to live when you sleep? Sleep is so important for you as the caregiver and for you or for your loved one with dementia. If we don't get into that deep sleep where we dream and we're so relaxed, we're really out, we are dreaming, then that information will never leave the hippocampus and go somewhere else in the brain to live. That's why folks who stay up all night to study, then go take a test, are not doing themselves a favor. If they studied and then slept for a little while to allow that information to leave the hippocampus to go somewhere else in the brain so that they can retrieve it when it comes test time, they would do better. Did you know that? Kind of neat, isn't it? Well, I hope that helps you understand as I spit out my words. I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about dementia. And maybe one day I'll get my friend to realize that, yeah, your wife's got dementia and she needs some help, and bless his heart, he needs for her to have some help. I hope that's not your situation, but if it is, write me, Carol@letstalkdementia.org, and I'll see what I can do to help you. Well, I like to make you giggle in the process of learning today, and here is your very short little funny. A father yells to his daughter, "How dare you disobey your mother? Do you think that you're better than I am or something?" Oh my goodness, we know who's in charge in that house, right? Well, I hope that your caregiving journey today is a great one. And if you come across something that makes you wonder what to do, then write me and we'll talk about it. But remember, knowledge brings power. Power brings hope. Hope brings smiles. We all need more smiles. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe, you'll be able to stay up to date on our latest videos, and all of the videos are free. Check out my book, Let's Talk Dementia. It is available on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Blessings and smiles.